Good evening, I'm Barbara Walters. Hugh Downs is on assignment, and this is 2020.
From ABC News, around the world and into your home, the stories that touch your life. With Hugh Downs and Barbara Walters, this is 2020. Tonight, crime in America. In your neighborhood, is there any way to stop it?
You can run, but you can't hide. You have to face it.
She was a victim.
Just move it!
Now she's fighting back.
I'm out there to make sure nobody else is a victim.
She patrols at night, challenging drug dealers, gang members, places that attract prostitutes.
Disturbing us, they're disturbing our business. We don't like that.
Tom Gerald and a woman who's fed up with fear. She's out there on the front lines, taking back the streets. He's in a class by himself, a media megastar with millions of fans, millions of dollars, and
talent on loan from God.
The wildly successful talk show host, Rush Limbaugh.
The devil.
Barbara Walters explores his public image.
I am a threat to a specific group of people in this country known as liberals.
And his private life.
I'm perceived as hating.
Do you?
Where he came from and where he's going.
You want to ever be in politics?
The man America loves and loves to hate. Rush Limbaugh. Plus, the riots in Los Angeles were shocking. So were the latest verdicts. The mob that attacked Reginald Denny found another victim that night. He was brutally beaten and publicly humiliated.
They sprayed this black graffiti stuff all over his private part.
Did justice serve this innocent man?
The only good thing that came out of this is that my dad's alive, but he's sick. He's very sick.
Catherine Cryer with the story of Fidel Lopez, robbed of his health, his business, and the American dream. A year and a half after the L.A. riots, he's still the forgotten victim. Those stories tonight, November 5th, 1993, after this brief message.
So when Grandpa retired, he took a trip around the world. He sent me this costume from Austria. And my sister got this from Japan. Yes, Miss Othmar, the trip was expensive, but Grandpa has a MetLife annuity. Yes, a MetLife annuity is tax-deferred, and your income can be guaranteed for life. Oh, yeah, he sent my dog something, too. Get Met, it pays.
We begin with one of the most important issues of our time, crime. It's on everyone's mind. It affects our vote, as we saw earlier this week, and our lifestyle. But what can we do about it? Tonight, we take to the streets of California for the stories of two people personally affected by crime. One, a woman who decided to fight back. But first, we all remember Reginald Denny, the truck driver beaten nearly to death in the Los Angeles riots. The trial of his attackers ended just last month. But Denny was not the only victim of their violence. There was also Fidel Lopez. And what happened to him was also captured on videotape. But few people heard his story until now. As Catherine Cryer reports, until now, he has been the forgotten victim.
Early morning in late October. Among those waiting for the school bus on this Los Angeles corner are Fidel Lopez and the youngest of his three daughters, Eileen, age 9. He says a good education for his children was one reason he came here from Guatemala 20 years ago. With Eileen safely off to school, he's in his pickup heading for a 12 to 13-hour workday. Fidel Lopez is a firm believer in the American dream. He's also a first-hand witness to an American nightmare, a nightmare that for him still has no end in sight. April 29th, 1992. Fidel Lopez was heading for home. He lived just blocks from the corner of Normandy and Florence, now seared in the national memory as the site of the attack on Reginald Denny. But there were other victims at that same intersection, attacked by the same mob.
Same people. And they catch me, they beat me, and
Missing from the spotlight and the headlines, Fidel Lopez's name is largely forgotten. But his life was also shattered, and his assault was also vicious. As seen on this video, Lopez, who'd been pulled from his truck, is kicked and beaten by a mob which included Damian Williams, one of the men convicted of assaulting Reginald Denny. Lopez says the fury of the attack made it impossible to remember what his assailants looked like, but he remembers how he felt about them.
people watch that as animals, no feelings, no sense.
But in this same crowd was a man trying not to injure Fidel Lopez, but to save him. The man dressed in black, seen here in the center of the screen, is Methodist Reverend Benny Newton. You can see him trying to push the attackers away.
They had kicked him, beat him till he was just out. And then one young man picked up a large audio speaker and lifted above his head and brought this speaker right down on Mr. Lopez's forehead. They had pulled his pants down and his underwear, and they had sprayed this black graffiti stuff all over his private part.
When this video was later shown in court, the prosecution would say the man in sneakers, shorts, and socks was Damian Williams. Lopez, seen here bloodied and helpless, says he was then doused with gasoline.
When I saw that, I threw my body across him to protect him from hitting him anymore. I says, no more, this is enough. You're gonna have to kill me too.
The crowd dispersed, running after another car just entering the intersection. Afraid they would come back, the Reverend stayed with Lopez, guarding, comforting, and praying over his broken body.
He saved my life. If he's not there, I die. I'm dying because who have me there? Nobody, only him.
And later that night, as the city further erupted, Reverend Newton drove through the violence and chaos to the nearest hospital, hiding Lopez and his daughter Vanessa under towels in the back seat.
It's like, after everything, I still feel like it was yesterday. I can't forget about that. I just feel so bad about it. I also remember Pastor Benny right now. He helps us so much.
Earlier this year, Reverend Benny Newton died of leukemia. When he died, the Lopez family lost a sense of security and hope. They felt alone, afraid, and forgotten.
After that happened to me, I'm so sick. I don't work for a long time. All some money I have, it's all going.
Fidel, are you going to be okay?
I hope. Because I am a victim and nobody cares, I think, after that happened to me.
You are still under oath, right?
That feeling was only intensified a few weeks ago as Fidel Lopez had to relive his pain and humiliation in open court. The next shock came with the verdict. Damian Williams, the only person charged in the attack on Mr. Lopez, was found guilty of simple assault, a misdemeanor with a maximum sentence of 6 months, and not guilty of the more serious charges.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your verdict? So say you one, so say you all. Yes.
But that news was overshadowed by the fact that Williams was found not guilty of attempted murder on Reginald Denny. It was the latest controversy in a series of trials played out in headlines around the world. Presses didn't stop for the verdict in the Lopez case, but life for that family had on the day of the riot.
I'm not the same person like I used to be. I feel afraid of everything. I can't go out because I'm afraid that something might happen.
Responding to his family's fears, Fidel Lopez decided to move out of South Central to a neighborhood quite literally on the other side of the tracks. But as his family tries to make a new start here in their one-bedroom rental, old fears still haunt their memories and their dreams. Yet they say they're satisfied with the outcome of the trial and eager to put it all behind them. They say they learned a lot about forgiveness from the man who saved Mr. Lopez's life. Looking back at all of this, how did Reverend Benny make a difference for you?
If I don't have it, Benny Newton like a friend, maybe I hit those people all the time. Before I'm mad, but now I'm feeling okay. I say maybe that's the best way.
Fidel Lopez still goes back to South Central every day. His two-man contracting business is rebuilding a house there. The tragedy he suffered in this neighborhood has only one formality left, the sentencing of Damian Williams expected next month. But Lopez has more immediate things on his mind, like the debts incurred during the riot from lost equipment, money, time. Just recently, he's been threatened with the foreclosure of a loan that would put him out of business.
I try to make everything seem like it's better than it is for my dad and everything. I always like make it seem like everything's okay. But it really is not. The only good thing that came out of this is that my dad's alive, but he's sick. He's very sick.
Since the riots, he's been suffering headaches, dizziness, partial deafness, and near constant exhaustion. He hasn't seen a doctor because he has no health insurance. The only thing he knows to do now is to keep working as hard and as long as he can.
A victim for no reason. Catherine, Damian Williams is awaiting sentencing, but just this week there was a surprising apology from another member of the mob.
Yes, Henry Watson was never charged in the Lopez case, but he had this to say as part of a plea bargain in the Denny case.
Yes, I'd just like to apologize to Mr. Tarbin and Mr. Denny, Mr. Lopez, and all the other victims that were there at the intersection of Florence and Norbury on April 29, 1992.
Now, Barbara, Mr. Lopez got something else. A representative of the Los Angeles Police Department showed up at his door and gave him what they call a Victim Recognition Award. They gave him a trophy. Now, for all this he's been through, his family, the horrific beating, essentially what he got was an apology and a trophy.
Thank you, Catherine, for telling us the story. Well, we want to remind you that later in our program, we're going to talk to probably the most controversial man in America today, Rush Limbaugh. But first, we're going to continue with our focus on crime. How would you handle the kind of attack that we just talked about that happened to Fidel Lopez? Would you try to forget and move on as he is doing? Or would you follow the example of Californian Mary Lou Holty? She's determined to take back the streets her way. And Tom Jarrell has her story next.
A wonder drug that could help reduce minor arthritis pain so the Panthers wouldn't lose their star shortstop. One that could relieve headaches so more boys could come out to play. A drug that studies show reduces the risk of second heart attacks. Imagine a drug that holds answers to all these ailments so families could gather for years to come. A wonder drug? Yes, it's genuine Bayer aspirin. The wonder drug that works wonders.
Teenagers are 3 times more likely to die driving at night than during the day.
Kid? Kid? With me, kid? Excuse me, with me, kid?
Talk to your teenager about serious driving issues. Before someone else has to do the talking.
Someone call the parents.
It's the ultimate test of a household cleaner, the Polish sausage test. 409 Glass and Surface Cleaner not only cuts the grease, it cleans the glass, even grease on glass without streaking. 409 Glass and Surface Cleaner. It cleans the grease, it cleans the glass.
Day 5, my private island. If there's something better, I haven't found it. Today, we were greeted by a goddess as we visited Royal Caribbean's private island. We returned to the ship about 4 p.m. I saw the captain on his daily walking tour. Tonight, I'll return to my cabin. Relive today and dream about tomorrow. Sweet dreams.
You've got some Royal Caribbean coming.
The Ragu chef created new Ragu Super Vegetable Primavera because we should all eat more vegetables. So his chunkiest sauce ever has vegetables, vegetables, and more vegetables. New Ragu Super Vegetable Primavera.
Saturday on ABC Sports, the world's top golfers head to Hawaii as coverage of the Lincoln Mercury Kapalua International begins. Then, last year's loss to Wisconsin cost Ohio State a shot at the Rose Bowl. Now the Buckeyes are looking for the Big Ten title and revenge. Plus other key regional action in the South and West, all Saturday on ABC Sports. Premiering Saturday. Wait, it's George Foreman.
Look like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
He's a real champ. It's the premiere of George.
If I don't thaw first. Hey, it's George Foreman.
moment.
Dougie Down. Then it's the show the critics call naturally funny. The season premiere of Where I Live, right after George, Saturday.
What crime does to us, what it did to the Lopez family, is instill fear. So is there anything we can do to combat crime? Late last night, the Senate endorsed a $22 billion plan that includes putting an additional 100,000 police officers in our streets. But not everyone wants to wait. And they don't want to wait for that to happen. Recently, Tom Jarrell went to California to meet an amazing woman, a woman who is determined to take back the streets of her own neighborhood. What she does is dangerous and something few of us should try. But even so, her story may be a source of hope and inspiration.
The music is entitled Changes. It was composed by the woman at the keyboard of the grand piano. Mary Lou Holty uses nights out like this with her friends at Moon Shadows in exclusive Malibu to relax, to escape the ups and downs in life she's described in Changes. She's here to take a break from what she calls the war zone.
On the dirty boulevard, he's going out. To the dirty boulevard, he's going down.
This is Mary Lou Holty's war zone, Van Nuys in northern Los Angeles, her own neighborhood of 10 years, where crime and violence have tightened their grip with each passing month. This slice of Los Angeles is like neighborhoods throughout urban America. Only a few years ago, the intersection of Sepulveda and Van Nuys marked the center of a reasonably safe working-class neighborhood. During the daylight hours, the streets still appear to be normal, buzzing with commercial traffic. But at night, the complexion drastically changes. That's when what Mary Lou Holty calls the creeps come out. And that's when she becomes a woman of the night herself to confront them.
You ever thought of carrying a gun?
Never.
No? Are there many guns on the streets?
Many.
She is a one-woman crime-fighting force who patrols dangerous streets alone, on foot, at night, armed only with a notebook, a flashlight, a spray can of green paint to mark those who threaten her, and an abundance of raw courage. She has a lot to fear living alone on a disability pension. But that doesn't show on the streets, where her style is strictly confrontational when it comes to lawbreakers, no matter how minor the infraction. An example, over hot chocolate in this donut shop, which serves as her lookout post for street crime, she warned a patron to obey the no smoking sign. He didn't, and she swung into action.
Just move it for me. You don't need to know who I am. Take the stuff and get the hell out of here. And clean it up.
The patron showed off his muscles. He made an obscene gesture, and then did exactly what the 110-pound woman ordered him to do. Get out. The tactics may seem extreme for such a small offense, but Mary Lou Holty has tracked down all types of criminals, including drug dealers, prostitutes, thieves, and armed robbers.
There's crime in everybody's backyard. Everybody's backyard. And people have to understand, they shop with gang members today, or drug users, or drug dealers, or rapists for that matter. They go in your bank. They go in your supermarket. So they're out there.
What's your message in return?
My message in return is it is not your neighborhood, it's my neighborhood.
Mary Lou started her crusade to take back her neighborhood 5 years ago when she was beaten and almost raped.
In 1988, I was walking home. It's a beautiful, beautiful day in Los Angeles. Beautiful skies, blue and all that.
A man started to follow her. She walked faster and tried to get away from him, but then made a bad mistake when she took a shortcut back toward her apartment on a little used alleyway. That's when he tried to rape her.
He put my hands up above my head, and I chose to scream. So he broke 2 of my ribs. He crushed them.
The brief and terrifying episode entirely changed her outlook on life. She was born again with a mission to do something about growing crime in the neighborhood.
That was the last straw, okay? That's what broke the camel's back. No more. I'm not a victim at this point at all. I'm out there to make sure nobody else is a victim.
The pressures on the Van Nuys neighborhood are all too typical. An emphasis on commercial expansion brought with it crime. A heavy influx of new immigrants crowding into apartment complexes compounded the problems, even though the neighborhood had always been racially mixed. Drive-by shootings have become commonplace, as this young boy nonchalantly pointed out the bullet holes of an incident earlier in the week. For sale signs went up in front of many of the beautiful homes.
People have just accepted this. The first word out of their mouth is, yes, I'm afraid. So I'm not going to come out at night, and I'm going to put my house up for sale, and I'm going to move to Arizona. They get to Arizona, uh-oh, whoops, gangs here too. We're losing our good neighbors, okay? The law-abiding are picking up and going somewhere. Believe me, it doesn't pay you can run, but you can't hide. You have to face it.
She normally operates alone, but for several evenings we accompanied her using a concealed camera for everyone's safety. Remember, she's been doing this nearly every night for 5 years. Target number 1, the Townhouse Motel, where Mary Lou is convinced the management tolerates, if not encourages, crime to flourish. She's trying to shut the motel down. So every chance she gets, she stops at the office, where the night manager dreads to see her face at the check-in window. Arguments usually ensue.
You got prostitution so bad, sir, and I've told you before when I got here.
Please don't say that. I do my business illegally, huh?
On this night, as usual, the manager promises to keep the illicit trade out, and, to her disbelief, turns away a prostitute trying to check in, as an example of his resolve.
No.
Why? You didn't tell me that earlier.
No, sorry.
When you met him in the room, you didn't tell me that.
But later, when Mary Lou returns, she suspects the prostitutes are also back, and the manager calls for an assistant to order Mary Lou to leave them alone because they are clean. But their claims of going straight collapse when just outside the door, a prostitute scurries by, heading to a room. Mary Lou makes notes, sternly lectures the two men, and threatens to build a case against their motel.
You're already getting in my face. They say, I don't have prostitution, I don't have gang members, and when I'm in there talking to them, guess what comes out of the room?
In walks a prostitute.
Mm-hmm. Or walking out. Right. Or a gang member, or whatever. Hi, I'm back this evening. How are you doing?
At the next target, the Chateau Motel, she hears a familiar theme. The manager complains Mary Lou has no right to interfere with the business.
We tried. We're trying. So what do you suggest we do? We're supposed to follow all the customers into their room and make sure they're not prostitutes? You're disturbing our business.
Really?
Yes.
Am I taking away from your business?
No, you're not taking away. You're disturbing us. You're disturbing us. You're disturbing our business. We don't like that. Okay?
She can cause enormous problems for businesses she targets as potential criminal hangouts. This 7-Eleven store has felt her wrath. For nearly 5 years, she fought the store, alleging they sold alcohol to underage customers and allowed drug dealers to use their pay telephones for transactions 24 hours a day. The Southland Corporation, which runs 7-Eleven, hit her with a court order preventing her from even entering the store, claiming she was racist in confronting the customers, most of whom were minorities.
You come in and you see a black man. Don't you automatically in your mind say, this guy may be a drug dealer, he may be a pimp, he may be a criminal?
No, not based on his skin at all. Not at all. I look at crime as crime. I go out colored blind whenever I hit those streets. No matter where I'm going, I am a colored blind lady.
Despite 7-Eleven's charges, she went to authorities and eventually won a whole array of concessions, including restrictions on the sale of alcohol and the addition of security officers outside the store. The owners of 7-Eleven declined a 2020 request to discuss the case. So why is she doing the work many think should be done by the police? An example this night helps explain that. She has a report about a gang member with a weapon and gives his description to an officer in a passing patrol car. What has alarmed her is no big deal for him. He dismisses the information, saying half the people out there have guns.
Off the record, police tell us, you are off the charts. You are totally out of control.
98% of the police officers who know me think it's great, and they wish they had 3,000 more of me.
Are you afraid?
No.
You're not?
No.
Why not?
I have seen everything out in those streets somewhere in my life. Nobody intimidates me. Nobody controls me, and nobody intimidates me.
Would you like to have someone walk with you?
Of course. When I first started this, I wanted them out there. I wanted, you know, to be a group of people, especially men. I can't understand men. Men will not do what I do, okay? They won't do it.
So when you've approached them and asked them, what do they tell you?
They're afraid.
How effective is the cleanup campaign by this unusual woman? No one can say for sure, since crime statistics aren't kept for such a small geographic area as this one neighborhood. However, police, neighbors, and many street people cheer her on. So some of those most closely touched by crime believe she is doing some good.
98% of them do not look down at me. They look up at me. Okay, I'm like a, I guess their mother out there or something, but they have somebody they trust. They don't trust the police department at all, Tom. Not at all. They trust me.
The soft side of this otherwise Iron Maiden is undoubtedly because of her own troubled childhood.
My adopted mother beat me. I mean, beat me up. Kicked my head against walls, on the floors, and the list went on with her. And the father would take me into the redwoods of Northern California and rape me.
Do you ever see yourself on the streets as a child, in the children that you see?
No, I just don't want them to get into trouble. I could have been a prostitute. I could have been a bank robber. I could have been a murderer, for that matter, with the kind of background I had.
Her success stories, as she calls them, often involve prostitutes.
I've had a success story, believe it or not, every year so far. Usually it's a prostitute who will get help, get away from the pimp, get off the drugs, get her life straight, and get into rehabilitation.
Fly away.
Every day, Mary Lou Holty has far more failures than she has successes. But she continues to keep her vigil over the corner of Sepulveda and Van Owen in northern L.A.
I want to fly, 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 fly from Dirty Boulevard.
Bottom line is, take back your community, take back your neighborhood, and until that's done, I'll still be out there, I guess, taking back mine.
Tom, I mean, she's fantastic.
Amazing woman.
Yeah, one woman, vigilance team.
Right.
But most of us can't take matters into our own hands like that.
No,
Isn't that terribly dangerous?
It's strictly an individual decision. Police say they're afraid she's going to run into the wrong person at the wrong time and be killed. Certainly more people on the streets, more citizens out joining her would make it a lot safer than the way she operates.
We saw her, taking sort of little actions, someone who's smoking where he shouldn't smoke, and motel operators. Does she tackle bigger things?
She tackles anything. In fact, after we were there, the man we saw at the beginning of the report came back and tried to get in a fight with her.
The guy who was smoking in the night?
Right. He came back and wanted to fight her, and they got into a Donnybrook. She sprayed him with her green paint. The police arrested him. He is now in jail on a felony as a car thief. So she runs into major criminals in doing this work. She certainly does.
More power to her, and I guess we should all pray for her safety.
We can learn a lot from her.
Yes, we can.
She
what
has
a woman.
had enough.
Well, next, the man millions of Americans love and millions love to hate. Rush Limbaugh, the hero of the right. He's on radio and TV and at the top of the bestseller list. How did he do it? What's he like away from the microphones? Rush, as you've never seen him, after this.
Lasers. Satellites. Cellular data networks. What exactly have we launched here? UPS Total Track.
the only tracking system that can confirm delivery of your air and designated ground packages coast to coast in seconds.
This package was signed for at 9:26 this morning by Mr.
The arms race may be over, but the package race is just heating up.
Women have always come to Kmart to get what they need. Today, they're coming to get what they want.
I think it's great. Yeah, I like it. Very nice. On the stitching.
My holiday collection is as much fun to wear as it was to create. This cardigan is part of it. I especially love the embroidery.
I think it's great. This is wonderful.
The layering shell is sleeveless. It feels so good on.
Lower the...
And what's really exciting is fashion like this at the store that invented low prices.
Marky, Daddy?
Sure, honey. Fill her up. A short while ago, Mike Ward had a headache. But he couldn't postpone his tea party with one of the town's best hostesses, so he took a Motrin IB. The same medicine as in the Motrin doctors have prescribed for years, but in non-prescription strength. And now that his headache's gone, he can concentrate on the things that really matter.
Good tea, huh, Daddy?
It's excellent tea, Becky. Excellent. Motrin IB, the relief of Motrin in non-prescription strength.
You need two hands to count all the special rates and discounts on Allstate car insurance. For more than one car, pickup trucks, anti-lock brakes, airbags. Good drivers, excellent drivers with Allstate home insurance. And retired drivers over 55. Just pick up a phone and call an Allstate agent for details. For lots of ways to save, you're in good hands with Allstate.
Saturday on an all-new commish.
Horizon, son. They're taking us over.
When Tony's friend is accused of a hate crime.
I did not shoot Aoki.
Tony calls out the troops to prove his innocence.
I need you to help me smoke him out.
Ernest Borgnine on the commish. Saturday.
Monday on day one, when California banned assault weapons, one manufacturer found a way to get this weapon out on the street. Very deadly, very legal. How could this happen? Forrest Sawyer on day one, Monday at 8, 7 Central.
He's been called the most dangerous man in America. So why do millions of people love to listen to Rush Limbaugh? America's #1 talk show host talks to Barbara Walters about his public image, his private life. When 2020 continues, after this from our ABC stations.
November, a month of great entertainment on ABC. We've got the specials. Barbara's back with Whitney Houston, Tim Allen, and Julia Roberts.
You're going to come after me, aren't you?
I thought I might.
Oh, just for...
You're going to slug me?
It's an all-new Barbara Walters special.
Well, there it is.
Then it's a star-studded night with Jay Leno, Boys to Men, Natalie Cole, and more. Hosted by Whoopi Goldberg. It's a gala for the president at Ford's Theater.
Well, there it is.
The specials on ABC.
Introducing Leadership Leasing from your Honda dealer. It puts the new Accord well within your reach.
No one beats Silo sale on every RCA television, like this RCA 20-inch color TV with remote only $194.99. Silo, where low prices are guaranteed.
The Ross Carpet $2 million Oriental Rug Sale. Now's the time to buy hand-selected Oriental rugs during our semi-annual sale. Mount Lebanon store only.
Dear Midas, my car was making a terrible squeaking noise. You said...
You don't need new brakes. The squeaking noise is caused by brake dust.
Such honesty is refreshing in these times. Yours truly, Frank J. Ruda.
Coming up tonight at 11 on WTA4 News, stand by for the thriller in Atlanta. It's a heavyweight bout. Vice President Gore and Ross Perot finally agree to debate the North American Free Trade Agreement.
I'm Mike Goldstein in Washington. Tonight, another look at government spending. Is it waste or wisdom? This time, $25 million to get energy from the Northern Lights.
And valet parking at a local mall. Would it make shopping easier and safer? And Susan Davies is in the Weather Center to tell us how much snow is coming and when. And Tony Sorella has high school scores and highlights tonight at 11.
From ABC News, 2020 continues. Once again, Barbara Walters.
He's the man they listen to at the White House, even though they seldom agree with him. He's the man millions listen to across the country. In fact, he's America's #1 talk show host. People can't seem to get enough of him. He's a star of radio and television. His first book, called The Way Things Ought to Be, is at the top of the bestseller list, has been for ages, it seems. His new book, published just yesterday, is titled See, I told you so, and that's already a guaranteed hit. His name, Rush Limbaugh. If you didn't know him before, you will after tonight. Because this man who loves to talk, although rarely about himself, is going to do just that. Who is Rush Limbaugh, and does a private man fit the public image?
Talent on loan from God. Rush Limbaugh in New York, the doctor of democracy. Coming to you from high atop the EIB building in Midtown Manhattan, ensconced in the prestigious Attila the Hun chair of the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies.
Rush Limbaugh has a lot to be self-satisfied about. He has the most successful talk show in radio history, an audience of over 18 million people a week on 626 stations.
Here is Rush Limbaugh.
We are up to day 209 of the Clinton presidency, which has us all in its evil clutches. 1,200.
Limbaugh also has a successful television program, syndicated late at night. And his first book has been a bestseller for over a year. So if Rush Limbaugh is so popular, why do so many people love to hate him?
The fact that he's constantly knocking Clinton, I mean, from day one, anti-anything that's good. He's the devil.
He is someone who caters to the worst prejudices in other people.
I walk out here tonight and I heard somebody shout, "Overkill!" And it's because of these ribbons that I am wearing.
Limbaugh has managed to antagonize liberals, feminists, gays, and environmentalists, among others.
The green, right here, save the rainforests.
Political correctness. How do you feel about that?
Just another word for totalitarianism. It's just another way for the people, predominantly on the left. Liberalism is I think political correctness is actually just a new name for liberalism.
How do you feel about homosexuals?
Well, you know, homosexuals are going to exist, and I have no objection to what anybody does in their bedroom, but at the same time, I don't want somebody getting in my face and saying, I'm gay, I'm gay. You must like it, you must love me, and you must accept everything I do. I don't get in everybody's face and say, I'm straight, I'm straight. Half my brain tied behind my back just to make it fair. Rush Limbaugh serving humanity in New York on the EIB network.
His talk radio competitor, Larry King, has said Limbaugh is a zealot who's made a career out of bashing people. Nightline's Ted Koppel, who's had Limbaugh as a guest, views him differently.
He's extremely articulate. Rush Limbaugh is, I guess to the left, he is sort of like an aching tooth. They can't stand him, but they can't leave him alone. And to the right, he's like cotton candy. They just keep gobbling him up.
And the supply is prodigious. 15 hours a week on the radio, 5 half hours on television. But that's Limbaugh the performer. For all his broadcast brashness, he carefully guards the private Rush Limbaugh. We wanted to find out what's behind his public face. Will you tell us what it is that you basically believe?
I'm a mainstream conservative. I don't consider myself a right-wing, although I have, as I look at the newspaper accounts of my goings and comings, I see that I have come up with a third name, ultra-conservative, Rush Limbaugh.
Do you mind?
No, I think it's part of the territory. I think what I do is shine the light of truth on things. And then the reaction is, well, let's label this guy something that'll discredit him. Let's call him a bigot. Let's call him a racist. Let's call him ultra this or ultra that.
Yeah. Do you care? I mean, does it hurt?
I've looked at myself as a harmless, lovable little fuzzball, and so now, oh, really? I have.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'm just touchy-feely. I'm not a threat to anybody.
Come sit on my lap.
I would love to. I've wanted to for the longest time.
This is probably the place to bring up one of the most controversial things you've ever said, calling feminists feminazis. And you've said, I love the women's movement, especially when I'm walking behind it. Now,
Sure.
That's kind of funny, but...
Yeah, kind of. It's uproariously funny, and it's harmless.
To you, it's uproariously funny.
No,
Okay.
it's harmless.
Let's just define this for people who say he calls them feminazis.
But I don't.
What do you mean?
I
You
don't.
did.
Well, no, I never did call feminists feminazis. There are a select few feminists who I call feminazis. And you have to really work hard to earn your way into the feminazi status. You know what feminazi really is a woman who is so consumed with the advancement of the feminist agenda that she gets mad when a woman who's pregnant, who was going to have an abortion, is talked out of it. And women who think that because of all sex is rape, even the sex in marriage, because and women
Okay,
are just...
you're saying extreme. You're saying
it's a
feminizing
very
is extreme.
extreme
What about when you say feminists are ugly women who need dates?
I never said that.
Well, sort of. You said it a little more elegantly.
Well, I'll give it to you.
I
I once wrote in a newspaper column I had, the 35 Undeniable Truths of Life. Number 24, feminism was established so as to allow unattractive women easier access to the mainstream of society. Well, you know, I think one of the things that, look, Barbara, this is nobody, I try to explain this, I don't know how many times.
I don't know why people don't understand it. It seems so simple to me. Feminazis, ugly women.
Now, but see, I have been aided and abetted by this continued misrepresentation of what a feminazi is, and by the continued misrepresentation of what my views on women are. I am perceived as hating women.
Do you? No. You love women.
I love women.
What influence do you think you have? Can you make people vote a particular way? Can you really change their views?
I can. I think I'm validating. I think I am ratifying what people already think, and I think they're happy because I'm one of them. Also, I have fun. I combine, I think, two things that are not found anywhere else in the media, television, radio, newspapers. I combine irreverence, a sense of humor, with the serious, credible discussion of consequential issues. And there is no one else who's doing that, left or right.
Larry King criticizes you and says that you bash gays and you are not as generous in your opinions as you might be. What do you feel about him?
I think, in truth, Barbara, if I may be bold, he's just overcome with a little bit of envy and jealousy. And who am I? Nobody ever heard of me 5 years ago. I've come out of the woodwork and have taken over an area that Larry King thought was his by divine right.
The Rush Limbaugh of 1993, adored by his fans and successful beyond his wildest dreams, is the product of failure meeting determination. He's been fired from 5 radio jobs in a career that began in high school. Calvin Chapman was his guidance counselor.
He was just so excited about radio. And I never did get him to do all of his homework.
Rusty, as Rush Limbaugh III was called then, worked out to school at the local radio station in his hometown of Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
KGMO, Cape Girardeau.
It's a city of 35,000 on the Mississippi River, about 100 miles downstream from St. Louis. But for Middle America, it is mainstream. And growing up here, Rush was able to avoid much of what was going on up there.
I didn't want to be identified with my generation, Barbara. I didn't wear blue jeans. I still don't. I didn't wear tie-dyes. I didn't protest America. Never did. And so I wasn't part of the consensus.
He wasn't exactly a loner during high school, but he was shy and overweight. He was no classroom Casanova. Did you ever play spin the bottle and it landed in a girl and she said, yuck?
Yeah.
Okay. She did, right?
I was about, this was, let's see, when was this? This was, gosh, junior high. Doesn't everybody play spin the bottle in junior high?
Yeah, but every girl, but, Rush, when it gets to the person, the girls don't go, yuck.
Oh, I'll bet they do. You think I'm the only guy in America that's had that?
No, but you're the only one I'm talking to. The Limbaughs were pillars of the community. Rusty's father, Rush Jr., was chairman of the county Republican Party and a man with strong political opinions. He died in 1990. And according to his father, Rush Limbaugh Sr., now 102, Rusty adored his dad.
He looked up to his father and wanted his father's point of view, and he followed it. He adhered to his father because he believed in him.
Rusty disappointed both of his parents when he dropped out of the local college after just a year to pursue a series of radio jobs.
My father set me down. Let me tell you what's going to happen, Rush. You're not going to make a decent salary. You're not going to maintain the social standing that you've become accustomed to. You won't find a decent girl to marry. What woman wants to marry a man who can't support her? All he ever did was insist that I get a college degree.
And I thought, what's he going to do? Being a disc jockey all his life, he's not going to, you know. But because I knew he could do better. I really did.
But for a while, he didn't. His radio career floundered. And in 1979, he left the business to take a sales job with the Kansas City Royals. He stayed 5 years. I read something that you said then. You said, I have never been lower. I was empty, directionless, futureless.
I said, I'm 32 years old and I've blown it. I've got nothing to show for what I have done. I have failed at everything I've done. I've been fired from every job or been forced to quit every job.
So flop, 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 flop.
Yeah. I mean, I was always the guy with a lot of potential. And a friend of mine said, what do you do best? And I said, well, obviously what I do best is say things on the radio. Well, you've got to do that. You've got to go back to that. I said, no, I already, failed at that. I already screwed that up. And I nevertheless went back to radio, and I was never better on the radio than after I'd been out of it for 5 years. And so it really began to blossom in 1984 when I moved to Sacramento, California.
An immediate action.
It was in Sacramento that Limbaugh perfected his format of no guests, some telephone callers, and mostly non-stop host opinion.
Let's figure out how much we spend per person on health care.
He gets ready for each day's program with 3 to 4 hours reading. And even while he's on the air, he keeps up with news and electronic mail from listeners on his laptop computer. But when opportunity knocked, the chance to host a nationally syndicated program from New York, he found the transition difficult.
When I came to New York, I was a psychological mess. The fact is that in Sacramento, I was not just a big fish in a little pond. I was a whale in a bathtub. I mean, I owned the town. So I assumed there'd be some fanfare with the arrival. And there was none. Sacramento, where's that? You're going to do your shows nationally? Who cares? And for the first 6 months, I was nobody. And in the business you and I are in, being nobody is tantamount to being a failure.
But his career blossomed in New York with stunning professional and financial success. Even his father stopped worrying.
Your father lived to see you successful.
He did. He did. Wildest imaginations probably were surpassed in the degree that he saw me. But
he saw you one night on Ted Koppel.
Saw me on Nightline. It was my first time. It was exactly 1 month before he died. And so when the show was over, I talked to my mom later that night, and she told me how proud he was.
His dad turned around to me and he said, where did he get all that? How does he know this? And I said, well, he got it from you. And it really pleased him.
But as his public following grew, Limbaugh's personal life did not keep pace. After the microphones and cameras shut down, he seemed to as well.
He's very shy. He's very sweet.
Roger Ailes is Limbaugh's television producer and his friend.
He sometimes comes across as more brusque than he intends.
Insecure?
We're all insecure. I think Rush wants to be loved.
You also had 2 marriages that went bust.
Yes.
Why?
Married for wrong reasons, I think. The best of intentions, the wrong reasons.
Were you a good husband?
Well, I think I was. Absolutely. I think I'm one of the best catches waiting. I think I'm one of the best kept. Oh, really? When it comes to husbands, I think I'm one of the best kept secrets in America.
Your first wife said that you were so intent on your work there was nothing left for anyone else. Your second wife, Michelle, said you were a couch potato.
Look, you're identifying a lament that is common throughout most marriages at some point, or relationships, and that is someone, either the husband or wife, is not paying enough attention. And, men, I do think that men define their self-esteem by virtue of their careers. I think most women define their self-esteem or take it from the success of their relationship, their family, or their marriage.
Yeah, thank God for Rush Limbaugh. But these days, Limbaugh seems to prefer career women. He isn't seen often on the social circuit, but when he is, it's usually with women who've made a name for themselves.
Anyone you want to meet?
You know, I was wondering, I was going to ask you, I may as well do it now, I was going to ask you if you could arrange maybe for me to meet Joan London. I mean, I've met her, but, you know...
You can't pick up the phone and say, hello, Joan?
I probably could, but what is it? Look, you could probably put in a good word for me.
Say that he's not a bad guy.
Yeah, he's a harmless, lovable little fuzzball.
I'll call Joan for you and tell her that you're a harmless, lovable little fuzzball.
Yeah.
Keep up the great work. Will do.
There are a lot of people who think Limbaugh's lovability could translate into politics.
I don't. You know why? Because you are right. Really, we love you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Rush, you want to ever be in politics?
No, sitting here today telling you this, I have no desire to go into
You could be
politics.
very effective that way.
I can't see doing the basic thing one has to do in politics.
Which is?
Put your hand out and ask people to put something in it.
Money.
When money is in your hand, people want to pay back, and it's never with money. And it's say goodbye to independence. It's say goodbye to who you are.
With all the stuff that's written about you, and all of the stuff that you say people make up and so on, what's the biggest misconception?
They can't discredit my views, Barbara. They can't discredit my discovery of the truth because it's not based on anything phony. But boy, if they can label me as some kind of oddball, somebody in a childhood, my father beat me, or I'm still on a mission to prove my father wrong and all this, I am a threat to a specific group of people in this country known as liberals. I don't want to be a threat. I don't think they should feel threatened. If they do, it must be because I'm saying things about... It's only the truth that hurts, Barbara. It's only the truth.
Say something lovable and modest, please. Just please say something modest.
I have for about an hour.
I can't remember.
Something modest about why my show is a success.
About anything.
I can credit it to the good taste and refinement of the American people.
Well, this Sunday in the Chicago ceremony, Rush will be inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame. And then there's Mad Magazine. Its readers recently voted him the winner of a poll to name the celebrity they think should receive, quote, unnecessary root canal work. Taste, as they say, is in the eye of the beholder, or should we say, the ear. You may love him or hate him, but the one thing about Rush Limbaugh is, once you have heard him, you can't ignore him. We'll be right back.
Hey, you can see why new Ripple Crisp cereal is not the same old flake. Ordinary flakes are flat. They meet milk, the crunch goes downhill. Ripple Crisp is different. Only Ripple Crisp has ripples. See? Ripples keep it crunchier. And crunchier means you can savor that lightly sweet corn taste down to the bottom of the bowl. New Ripple Crisp. Golden corn or honey bran. Ripples make it crunchy. Crunchy makes it good.
This is the perfect time to try my new Polaroid Captiva. Smile!
Hey, where's the picture?
There's no picture?
Did you see the picture come out? How can that be a Polaroid camera if there's no picture?
It doesn't look like a Polaroid camera.
It's not a Polaroid camera.
Introducing the new Polaroid Captiva. It's sleek, it's stylish. Its pocket-sized pictures stay in a special compartment until you take them out, so you're free to shoot and shoot.
Maybe if you shake it.
Yeah, shake the camera.
The new Polaroid Captiva. The pictures stay in till you take them out.
This is hydroplaning in less than an inch of water, and they're being pulled by Goodyear all-season AquaTread radials. AquaTread's deep groove design channels water away as you drive for outstanding traction. Hydroplaning, AquaTreading. Think about it.
Question. If your cold pill's so good, how come your symptoms keep coming back? Because your pill doesn't work 24 hours. Introducing Effidac 24, the first cold tablet so effective just one works 24 hours. Look, Sudafed drops off after 6 hours, Tavist after 12. So your symptoms keep coming back. But just one Effidac gives consistent relief for 24 hours. So your symptoms don't come back. New 24-hour Effidac keeps cold symptoms from coming back.
People around Flat Rock, Michigan feel more secure driving the Mazda 626. They make them themselves, so they put dual airbags in every one of theirs. And every one of yours, too.
It won the Academy Award for Best Picture. It's this year's television event of the season. Now see it as it was meant to be experienced with never-before-seen footage. It's the world television premiere of Kevin Costner's Dances with Wolves, Sunday at 8, 7 Central.
Tuesday, a different side to your favorite stars.
Arrested, tried, sentenced. What was it like for you?
It was horrible. Horrible. Tim Allen, Julia Roberts, and Whitney Houston.
Wow.
An all-new Barbara Walters special Tuesday.
An update now. More than a year ago, Lynn Shure brought a baffling military illness to the public's attention. soldiers returning from the Gulf War were complaining of strange and similar symptoms that doctors couldn't figure out.
Chronic fatigue, headaches, hair loss, weight loss, night sweats. My teeth are aching.
When I went to Saudi, I was fine. I was 100%. I was doing all the physical training that the military wanted of me. I was doing my job. And when I got back, I couldn't do any of it.
Since our report, the number of cases has climbed to 10,000, and a report from the Czech government released just this week claims that low levels of chemical agents were detected in the air during the Persian Gulf War. Could this explain the mysterious sickness? The Pentagon has been looking into that possibility and will release its findings next week. And the Department of Veteran Affairs plans an investigation as well. As for the two soldiers you just saw, more than 2 years after their return from the Persian Gulf, their condition remains the same. We'll be right back.
Save right now. Buy 3 Goodyear tires at the regular price, get the 4th tire free. That's right. Buy any 3 of these Goodyear tires at the regular price and get the 4th free. 4 for 3 now. Hurry, sale ends soon.
Need new glasses? Let LensCrafters pay for your eye exam. Just bring us your prescription and exam receipt from the doctors next to LensCrafters or any eye doctor, and we'll deduct up to $45 from your new LensCrafters glasses. Let LensCrafters pay for your eye exam. Hurry, offer ends Thanksgiving Day.
Would you take a curve at 100 miles per hour?
Oh, my.
Would you go up 5,000 feet and hang on?
Hang on?
Would you fight rushing water on a raft?
Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
They risk their lives for a thrill.
This is one of the best highs in life.
Why would anybody?
Don't knock it till Tony Zarella tries it. Watch Thrill Seekers, Tuesday at 11.
This is Don Cannon. Up next, police bust a gambling operation in Baldwin.
I'm Wendy Dockenbach. Coming up, how one local mall is trying to make the Christmas shopping season safer and more convenient.
I'm Sally Wiggin. A report on the spending of our tax dollars. Waste or wisdom? The news is next.
There is so much happening in this week's Paul Poundstone show, there's barely time to tell you about it, but we'll try. Lily Tomlin plays a nurse. Al Green sings Let's Stay Together. I tell Carl Lewis I'm going to kick his butt. Senator Simon talks about the government, and there's so much great stuff, you'll just have to watch the Paul Poundstone show this Saturday on ABC.
Monday night, as you know, is day one, and here with a preview of the upcoming program is host Forrest Sawyer.
Monday on day one, did you ever think you could actually reverse heart disease without surgery or even drugs? One leading doctor says you can, and even insurance companies are now betting he's right. A radical new plan to save your life. Monday on day one.
Thank you, Forrest. And also, don't forget to watch Nightline after your local news. And I have something special to tell you about coming up Tuesday night, at least I hope it'll be special, because it's my first special of the new season. We think it's a really big one. It has Whitney Houston with her husband and baby in their beautiful home. Speaking of home, the star of television's huge success, Home Improvement, Tim Allen, who, believe it or not, went from prison to stardom. And then Julia Roberts discusses her marriage to Lyle Lovett in an intimate interview. And that's Tuesday night at 10, 9 Central, and we hope you will watch. And now that's 2020 for tonight. I thank you for joining us. Remember, we're in touch, so you be in touch. I'm Barbara Walters, and Hugh will be back next week. For everyone here at 2020, we wish you a good weekend and good night.
Sunday on This Week with David Brinkley. Violence on the screen and in the street. Tom Selleck and Pat Robertson on Saving America's Young People. Sunday.
2020 is a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
The American Broadcasting Company, ABC.